Hey, what's up, everybody? Chicago Gooner here, bringing you another Arsenal talk. In this Arsenal talk, I'll cover a little bit of the Galatasaray game, and then get in a little bit of the little video that was shown about Arsene Wenger and the fans booing him outside of the train station. I'll get into that a little bit, but let's take a moment and a little moment of silence for the mighty, the English standard, as they call themselves, Liverpool. That's enough silence for that. Of course, we're all laughing inside, laughing out loud. These. I'll just put it like I want to. These fucking faggots, running their mouths all summer long. After the season last year, we're back in Champions League. We're back in Europe. We're gonna just destroy people, and we're gonna make runs again, and we're gonna get back on top where we belong. Yeah, no, yeah. You lost the one player that gave you all that in the summertime, and now you're back down to earth, uh, back on Thursday nights in Europa League, or yeah, that Europa thing. That's where you belong, just like with Spurs. Um, uh, and actually, a Spurs fan on Twitter, that was a hilarious tweet of Spurs fans saying that Liverpool has become Tottenham, only worse, which is hilarious. When I mean that's the bottom of the barrel right there. When a Spurs fan is calling out Liverpool and all of its fans and its club and saying that you're worse than Tottenham. I mean that's the bottom of the barrel right there. But yeah, it's fucking hilarious. But also it's embarrassing. Honestly, it's embarrassing for the English Premier League that and they had a somewhat easy group, in my opinion. Other than Real Madrid, I mean, they should have came out of that group. Basel is they're a decent club. I'm not gonna discredit them whatsoever. I mean, they're making it out of the group. I think they beat Chelsea last year. They knocked out Manchester United like a few years back, I believe. So they're not exactly uh, like a bottom feeder or a feeder club. They, they're they're a real side, but it shouldn't be. You know, that's still a club that Liverpool should overtake, and it's just hilarious that they can't even get out of that group. Even with all the new additions and all that. And I mean, even without Sturridge, I mean, they should have still got out of that group. And yeah, they just don't have the firepower. They just don't have the goal scorer in Luis Suarez, the biter, as they did last year. So it's just kind of hilarious, and it's very quiet. I love it. Here in the States, there's a lot of Liverpool fans, and you just have to, all last year you just heard them run their fucking mouths, all throughout the season, at the end of the last season, and during the summertime, and yeah, it's silent. I like it like that. It's nice and silent, because hearing them talk, I mean, it's just like it's nails on a chalkboard. I mean, that's how bad it is for me. And it's just delusional. They're just a delusional group of people that keep on screaming, "You'll never walk alone." Well, go ahead and walk on Thursday nights. But on to Arsenal. Uh, Great game today. Wasn't able to see it live, but saw a little bit of the replay. Pretty much about the second half is when I kind of just fast forwarded up until the last goal for Lucas Podolski. Um, just because I just don't have that much time to sit down and watch the entire thing. But I was watching it during watching Twitter, watching the score feed throughout the day, and um, watching the game or watching the score feed and watching the Dortmund feed as well. You were just kind of hoping that Anderlecht could play like they did against us in the second half at the Emirates, and you were just kind of hoping that they could nick a goal somehow, some way, that we can come out of that group and win the group so that we won't have a terrible draw. I know people are scared shitless right now. Of course, I don't know, everybody's kind of Debbie Downer, even though we got out of the group and we finished second. That's everybody's thinking, possibly Real Madrid, or Bayern again, possibly even PSG. I mean, honestly, I would welcome PSG. To be honest with you, I mean, I think out of those kind of three, big names right now, I think I would choose PSG. That's if Ibra is healthy or not. If he's not healthy, I definitely welcome that against PSG. I think it would be a pretty decent matchup too as well. I think it would almost favor us a little bit because by that time everybody should be healthy and back, and we should have our best starting 11 going into the knockout stage. But overall, um, it wasn't it was basically like a B team for the most part against Galatasaray. It was nice to see Debussy back finally. We've been dying for that, that right back for him to get back as soon as possible, so we can start kind of rotating the squad as far as per Mertesacker and Chambers and Kashoni. So especially with Mertesacker, hopefully maybe he'll get a rest this weekend, possibly, hopefully. Because he's played every single game since he's got back. I think since Everton, I think he's played every single game. So that guy needs a rest somehow, some way, and hopefully maybe Kashoni will be playing this coming weekend against Newcastle, and same with Chambers. Hopefully those two will match up instead of putting Pure out there once again. Maybe he just needs just a day. I thought he was going to be today. But of course, obviously, we don't have the squad depth to put someone else back there. And plus, I think Isaac Hayden I think he's still injured, I believe, but I'm not positive on that one. So it's not like we could bring someone in from the youth squad that could possibly play the position and play it at least at a decent level. Because at the beginning of the game, Galatasaray was. They knew they were going to be knocked out. They were going to have like little to no chance at Europa or anything. So it was ours to win. It was ours to really go out there and really try to put our stamp on it from the get-go. And that's what the guys did. They showed some heart. They showed some of all the possession and the early goals and everything. That first goal by Lucas Podolski was just a shot. I mean, he just basically looked like he pretty much aimed it at the goalkeeper's head, and it was just a perfect shot. But both Aaron Ramsey goals. I mean, Lucas Podolski first goal was assisted by Aaron Ramsey. Like I said in my last episode, hopefully the assist from the Southampton game, the goal against Stoke City, hopefully this springboards him back to his confidence level that he had last year. And watching those two goals today, that was the confidence level that Aaron Ramsey had last season. That first goal, I mean, of course, his second goal everybody's talking about, but that first goal, if you really watch that goal and the way he took it and the patience he had, and just aimed it perfectly at the right hand corner of the goal. And I mean, of course, the second goal was that was just a wonder strike. I mean, that thing was, you could put that in easily in the top 10, goals of the year. Maybe not goal of the year, but definitely top 10 amongst all leagues. Even with his weak left foot, I mean, he just slammed that thing. I mean, that thing was perfect. You can watch that over and over and over again. But, I like to tell you guys to, go back and watch his first goal, and you'll see the patience, confidence that he had in that first goal. That it almost does look like that in that first half. I mean, people are saying this is the best first half that he's had all season. But he's had a couple decent games like early on. I think everybody kind of forgot the first few, games of the season. The game against Crystal Palace where he scored the game winner. He had a few good games early on, but then he got injured in that international break with Wales. He got really bad injury, so it looks like he's coming off that injury where he's 100%, and he looks like he's got his confidence back. And that's all it takes is making an assist for your teammate, scoring a goal. Again, of two volleys back-to-back games that are very difficult. I mean, obviously this one against Galatasaray is, the difficulty level on that volley, and especially with his weak foot is just, it's just crazy good goal. And again, I hope this keeps on springboard them forward because we need them. We desperately need them because we need someone else to start scoring goals other than Alexis Sanchez. We need to have more than just Alexis Sanchez to depend on. You add in Giroud's coming back. Danny Welbeck, if he can, get some rest here and there and start scoring goals again. Aaron Ramsey, of course, as well. Once Theo Walcott comes back, hopefully, they said he's going to be back into training next week, hopefully. Once he gets back in the fold, we could take all the pressure off of Alexis Sanchez because you could see Alexis Sanchez playing sometimes, especially in even that Stoke City game where he's just trying and trying and trying because he kind of knows that the pressure is on him and he needs to score that extra goal or to score an equalizer or the winning goal. And we need to take that pressure off of him so he can just play. So he can just play his game and not worry about that too much. That he knows that he has other players that he can depend on to score goals, like a Danny Welbeck or Aaron Ramsey. And once Mesut Ozil comes back, this is going to be, God, I hope no one gets injured for the rest of the season because if we put our best starting 11 on the pitch, great things are going to happen. Of course, I know with Lucas Podolski scoring these 2 goals, of course he scored his second late in the game. I know people are going to start screaming, "Oh, play him more, play him more, play him more." But again, this is a Galatasaray team that knew they weren't going to be playing in Europa. They were going to miss out on knockout stage for the first time in a few years in Champions League, to where they're just completely knocked out of Europe right now. And obviously the confidence wasn't there. Other than maybe Wesley Sneijder. Wesley Sneijder looked like he was the only one that was really on the pitch for Galatasaray who really seemed like he cared. Hopefully that guy gets maybe transferred in January to somewhere where he can play some competitive football and maybe not, of course not this year because he's cup tied, but maybe next year that he can get on a team that can really challenge for Champions League because he's just a great player. I love watching him play. He's scrappy, he's good on the ball, he's a great passer. Of course, that free kick was amazing. Just to give him credit. And you hate to see guys like that kind of die out on a team that just doesn't seem like it has really any heart, has any really care in the world to really perform at a high level. And you expect more from a Galatasaray for all the money they've spent over the last few years that they could do better. And they just didn't. It was just, they pretty much got their ass kicked throughout this whole group stage of the Champions League. Even by Anderlecht. Even Anderlecht fucking took them to the woodshed a few times. But yeah, overall, got out of the group stage. Hopefully we get a good draw. That's just, fingers crossed that we don't get Real Madrid or Bayern again for the 3rd straight year or, like I said, I would welcome a PSG to for a knockout stage game. But that, of course, does it include Ibra or doesn't? If it doesn't include Ibra, I would take it all day because I think without Ibra, they're just, they're good. They're still really good, but they're just not as good without Ibra. Honestly, when you have that type of world-class striker that can score at any minute and has that much skill, and he's just a game changer. And of course, that's what we kind of lack, that kind of that big game changer like an Ibra. I know Alexis Sanchez is a game changer. Mesut Ozil could be a game changer once he gets back on the pitch, but Ibra is just kind of like he's right up there with over the last few years, right up there with CR7 and Messi, and considered as one of the best players, one of the top 5 best players in the world. Hopefully we'll get a good draw. Hopefully we don't get fucked over again because I guess of how our Champions League looked against against Dortmund, against Galatasaray and stuff like that. We're definitely not like the worst second place team of any of the groups. I didn't think we were last year when Bayern was clearly coming out of the group stage. That Bayern was clearly the best team in the Champions League coming out of the group stage. I'm not saying throughout the whole thing, but just in the group stage alone, they looked like they were the best team. coming out of the group stage. And of course, we got them last year in the knockout stage in the round of 16. You know, even last year we weren't the worst second place team out of the group. But again, that's just all in the draw. You know, who knows if those draws are fixed or not. I mean, sometimes they feel like it, but let's just hope that we get a good draw because we might be dangerous. We might be really dangerous coming into the knockout stage because Mesut Ozil will be back by then. Theo Walcott will be healthy back by then. You know, everybody will hopefully be healthy by then. And hopefully in January we go out there and we get, well, I'm saying, we could possibly get, William Calvehole, but he'll be cup tied, so that'll be, that won't matter. It'll still either be Arteta or fucking Flamini. As our DM, at least for Champions League. But everybody else will be healthy and back and ready to go. So hopefully, we can be very dangerous coming into that knockout stage. And I know plenty of teams, even if you're like a PSG or a Bayern or a Real Madrid even, Arsenal's not exactly the team that you want to play against because of our style of football and sometimes lightning strikes in a bottle, and we can just be coming in there on a hot streak and keep on playing on a hot streak. And of course, we have our own world-class players, and that's what you want to try to basically avoid in the round of 16. You want to kind of have the easiest road possible leading into the either the quarters or even the semis. So hope. But going into the video, of course, this past weekend after the Stoke game, there was a video posted. I'm sure everybody has seen it. It's about 27 seconds long, something around there. A bunch of fans, basically almost kind of like stalkers, if you want to call them that, sitting outside of a train station waiting for Arsene Wenger and the team to get on their train and go back to London. And of course, within this time frame of it was about 10 seconds from Arsene Wenger walking into the picture to getting onto the train. A lot of boos, a lot of swearing, telling him to leave the club. And if you haven't seen it, look it up. I'm sure everybody's seen it. But what I want to talk about is kind of like the outcry on Twitter about this. I saw a lot of different opinions on it. I don't exactly agree with it. When you're kind of standing outside of a train station, it's almost stalkerish. That you're just waiting for someone to, so you can boo him or so you can give him shit. I would have handled it differently. If I was standing outside the train station, I would start basically kind of yelling at them, saying, get these guys in line. Tell them they need to play with heart, like they did in the second half of Stoke, for 90 minutes, not just 45 minutes, not just 30 minutes. Get these guys in line. If they don't play up to the standards of Arsenal Football Club, they should be benched. Those are the type of things that you should be saying to Arsene Wenger, rather than booing him, calling him shit, telling him to leave the club, and tell him that he's a disaster, so to speak. But again, that might be the smarter fans, so where they're going to start asking questions instead of booing him and calling him shit. Some of us rather ask him questions and kind of tell us, in a logical sense of what our opinions are and what should happen. Of course, he probably won't listen to us anyway because, obviously you saw in the beginning of the season we're playing the 4-3-3 hybrid, 4-1-4-1 formation, whatever you want to call it. And he just didn't listen to anybody. He kept on rolling out the same squad, and we couldn't score any goals. We couldn't get any wins, and he just didn't want to listen to anybody. So he's not going to listen to us. But the one concern I had, watching people on Twitter kind of talk about this, and some people are saying just support the club, support Arsene, support the players, and blah blah. How many more times do we have to say this as a fan base? Some people were even saying that we shouldn't be doing this type of stuff, and I agree. But this is what sports is about. This is why I'm doing this kind of video, this I guess quote unquote kind of podcast, uh, because I'm voicing my opinions. I'm letting you guys in the comment section voice your opinions and maybe try to start some type of debate, because that's what sports is about. I mean, it's about debating. It's about throwing out your opinions. Sometimes your opinions might be shit. Um, you know, 90% of my opinions are probably shit anyway. But that's the nature of sports. That's the reason why you get into it. That's the reason why you care. That's the way. That's the reason why you're passionate about it. Like me, everybody else, we love this football club. We want it to see. We want to see it succeed to the heights that we haven't seen yet. Like winning Champions League, like winning the BPL that we haven't done for almost 10 years now. Um, Winning trophies on a consistent basis. This is what I think people are really upset about. This is why they're really voicing their opinions now. And I have no opinion, no uh, bones about people voicing their opinion, because we should be voicing our opinion, because this is how we show our passion. Our This is how we show that we care about the club. Um, so I disagree with some of the people that basically say, "Well, let's support this. Let's support the club, the Arsene, the players." I mean, how many times do we have to keep on saying this to make ourselves feel better about what's going on? Because it's not. We've kept on telling ourselves this throughout the time where we didn't have a transfer budget. We were selling players off. We were selling world class players off. We kept on trying to tell ourselves this of keep supporting the club, keep supporting Arsene, keep remembering what he did early on in his career with Arsenal instead of now. I disagree with that. Um, I disagree with that to the point because how many more times are we going to say that? Um, because we're just going to keep on recycling it over and over and over again, and nothing's going to be done about it. Um, the one, the people who can really do something about this are the fans. I mean, you've seen protests in Germany, Spain, France. Even here in England, or even in England. I'm saying here in England. I'm in fucking Chicago, dumbass. But the fans are the people who come to the games, who pay their tickets, to pay for the merchandise, who give the club that extra, um, uh, you know, extra bit of money so they can pay the players, so they can market the team, so they can, uh, make, upgrades on the stadium, whatever, you know, because we have to be the voice to where the Arsenal board, Stan Kroenke, they'll just sit in the corner and hopefully and pray to God that this blows over. Um, so we have to voice our opinions, and we have to start something going on to where we have to challenge Stan Kroenke, Ivan Gazidis, the Arsenal board, Arsene Wenger. Yeah, it's great what he did for the club from the time he got here until now, but we can't keep on recycling that excuse over and over again, because that's what it is. It's an excuse. Well, remember what he did for the club. He's done so great early in. That's just an excuse. That's an excuse to make ourselves feel better, to kind of push aside all the problems that we've been having this season. I talked about Liverpool a little bit in the beginning. I mean, we still made knockout stage, and we're having the worst start to an English Premier League season in 30 years. And we still make knockout stage, but we're still not playing like we should in the league or on a consistent basis. And again, that starts with Arsene Wenger, and it ends with the very last player on the bench. You know, these players need to be held accountable. Arsene Wenger needs to be held accountable. We need to stop making excuses, because there is no more excuses. The excuse was even about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Well, we just don't have the money to spend. We're trying to pay off the Emirates. We don't have the transfer budget. We don't have the. We just don't have the budget within the club to offer 150,000 pounds or 200,000 pounds to world class players to have them come here and play for us. We don't have that excuse anymore. There is no more excuses. And so on that part of the Twitter debate that was going on Saturday night, on Sunday, that I disagree with because it's in our right, it's in our opinions to voice our opinions. They better be knowledgeable and logical. You know, they shouldn't be stupid like standing outside of a train station and booing them and call someone shit. I mean, make an argument, make a real argument that holds, uh, you know, that has substance to it, instead of just calling someone shit. I mean, that's the easy way out. That's the easy way out to say just fire his ass. Um, it's the easy way out to say, just scrap everything and start over again. That's the easy way out. We need to start challenging. We need to start asking questions. We need to voice our opinions and make sure, you know, there's some knowledge behind that instead of acting like an idiot out of a train station and call someone shit. So there needs to be some type of balance. There needs to be voices out there instead of ass kissing, like some Arsenal fans do. I'll call him out like Jeff Arsenal. That's all he does is ass kiss Arsenal just because he has, you know, contacts inside of Arsenal that give him information, about transfers and players and all this other shit. Those people I just can't stand because they'll just keep on ass kissing from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed. Nothing gets done that way. That's why if you listen to Arsenal Fan TV and that podcast between Mo and Jeff Arsenal, I mean, Mo just kicked his ass for an hour and a half, and of course, Jeff Arsenal just keeps on ass kissing Arsenal, which we shouldn't be doing that. We should be questioning them. We should be challenging them at any point that we're because right now it's so imbalanced. It's so inconsistent, and it starts with Arsene Wenger. And it starts with, and again, it ends with the players. So we have to start challenging these guys. We have to start, pumping them up. Giving them some type of confidence. Hopefully, with players coming back, slowly here. Mesut Ozil is supposed to be due back, I believe, January 2nd, which is like the last big name that's coming off the injury list. So hopefully by then, that'll be in the dead heat of, the holiday season where we have, like 4 or 5 games in 10 or 12 days. I mean, that's just going to be crazy. So we're going to need all hands on deck, and these players need to be motivated each and every game. They need to play with heart. They need to play consistently. They need to have some balance. And again, it starts with Arsene Wenger. He needs to put the right team out there instead of playing players out of position because it's already hurt us so many times over, tenfold. But so I think it's okay. It's okay to voice your opinion. It's okay to have an opinion, just as long as it's not stupid as shit. Like I said, standing outside of a train station. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Come with something better than that. If you're really going to stand up for this club and show some type of passion. Booing him, saying that he's shit, it's not going to solve anything. It really isn't because he doesn't give a fuck. I mean, he basically said it the next day or in the Galatasaray interview on Monday, I believe, and he doesn't give a shit. He's going to be here until his contract runs out. That's what, in so many words, that's what he said, and that's what's going to happen. Because Stan Kroenke, they're not going to, even if we do miss out on Champions League this year, I don't think they'll even fire him. Arsene Wenger might retire, but I just don't see it happening. But you have any opinions on it? You have any comments on it? Leave them down below, and hopefully we get back. There's a lot of players that stayed behind, which was good to see. That we brought a lot of youth players. to Turkey instead of putting Alexi Sanchez on the plane, Santi Cazorla, and a lot of the other players. It was good to see that some of them got to stay home and got to rest instead of putting them on the plane and putting them on the bench for no good reason. So hopefully it's on to Newcastle. And we need 3 points. We definitely need 3 points because they're playing well. They're really playing well. So hopefully Saturday. I think it's the late game on Saturday. So really looking forward to that. But you have any comments, questions, anything like that? Leave them down below, and that'll be it. Later.